Answer me a question. What do we get when we combine German Nazis, Spanish gypsies, a lawnmower in a room full of the undead, and Alfred Hitchcock's most famous movie, Psycho? Well, we're about to go deep and talk about 1992's Braindead.
Introducing the Deep Voice.
1992's Braindead is a film that is written and directed by Peter Jackson. And yes, that is the Peter Jackson behind critically acclaimed trilogy Lord of the Rings. This is one of his very early films, and it's indicative of the sort of stuff he will do later on, particularly in terms of the practical effects and the prop design. This film is hilarious. It's a horror comedy, and it's mainly about zombies, effectively, if you want to break it down. But the film is a B-movie style, and if you're coming here looking for a complex story and a tight, well-written script, you're not going to find that here. What you are going to find is a very fun, hilarious film that doesn't take itself seriously, and that's in a good way. Now, the film essentially is set in the 1950s, 1957, and it focuses on a character called Lionel, played by Timothy Balm, and his overbearing mother, played by Elizabeth Moody. It very much has that psycho movie dynamic where the overbearing mother is controlling everything that the son is doing. And this, I think, has been ripped directly from Psycho, if I'm honest. And essentially, a new species of rat is brought into New Zealand, which is where this is based, in the 50s. And it bites someone, and from this point onwards, a virus is spread, and chaos ensues, and it's a zombie outbreak. So effectively, a campy, cheesy B-movie in the zombie genre, but with very comedic elements. Never takes itself seriously. So, as I said, Lionel, the main character, is played by Timothy Balm. He does a great job here, a wide range of emotions all the way through the film. The practical effects, great, greasy hair, sweat on the face. He does very wild-eyed scenes, very over-the-top acting, a la Nick Cage in, let's say, Vampire's Kiss, but you could pick most of his films. And the love interest, Diana Peñalva, she's a Spanish woman, a bit more of an understated acting performance, but she does this great, and there are elements that people may find a little bit offensive regarding ethnicities and things, but, you know, it's a sign of the times, and there was no harm meant by it. I think it's just funny. Elizabeth Moody does a really good job playing the overbearing mother. Very much one of these 50s movie styles, really, where you love to hate her character. And that means she's doing a good job as an actress because you really do hate her in this film. But the characters are all played really well. Now, let me go on and say that one of the biggest draws for this film is the practical effects, wardrobe design, visuals, Foley, artists with the sound. The film is disgusting in all the best ways. It will have you laughing, it will have you looking away from the screen in disgust. All these things that come together, they really encompass that old school 90s feel, which I guess we don't see too often anymore. The film is fantastic. It's quite upbeat, to be honest. Although there are disgusting elements, it is really a character arc of, you know, being at the bottom and then becoming a knight in shining armor, essentially. And that's what Lionel's character trajectory will do. I want to talk about one scene in particular where everybody is sat at a dining table, everybody has bowls of custard, and there are various bodily fluids jettisoning out into said bowls of custard, and then unknowing people around the table are consuming this custard. So if this is the sort of thing that you will see and say, that's not for me, then don't watch this film, because I will say that that's a good example of the sort of things you'll be discovering in this film. Pets being eaten, a dog being consumed by a zombie in quite a disgusting manner. The visual effects with the fur and things at this point are hilarious. The creature that starts the entire virus is called a Sumatran rat monkey in this film. It's actually a stop motion model that is animated in a scene in the zoo and a scene on an exotic island. And the scene in the zoo is well animated. I like stop motion anyway, so the fact that this element is in there is an added bonus for me. There is a scene where Timothy Balm as Lionel is pretending to listen to a radio station just to get himself out of a certain situation, and he's basically laughing and pretending to listen to this scene on the radio, and the way he's manically laughing very much reminds me of a Nick Cage-esque over-the-top performance. He does this really well all the way through the film. It's downright enjoyable, this film. It's just fun. Don't go into it expecting anything else. It's going to be disgusting. It's going to be cheesy. The script is so bad, it's hilarious. And one of the main things I want to say here is that the entire feature-length film is on YouTube for free. So you don't really have an excuse not to try it. So what I would suggest is that you go and watch it after this if you haven't already seen it. And maybe if you have seen it recently, go back and watch it again, because you won't be disappointed. This film is one of those films that has stuck in my head since the 90s, and I think it's for very good reasons. I've revisited this film maybe 10 times, and every time I find it enjoyable. So if you want wide-eyed performances, profuse sweating, gore, hilarious dialogue, which is just bizarre, then go ahead and watch this film. You'll find it on YouTube. Go and search for it.